Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Let's get into gaming and tech. So gaming and tech is bigger than usual, though it's a lot of reading. So if I look down a lot, I apologize. If you're listening on the audio, you won't know. So either way, thank you. So let's start with follow-ups. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. We did hear the rumor that it was going to be pushed back. Well, it hasn't been pushed back. In fact, it's just been shelved. The reboot has been removed from the 2023 release date, or release window rather, and is now just indefinitely on hiatus, which kind of sucks, but that's what we got there. Let's move on next. We talked in the last episode about a big announcement from Sega that was very likely going to be a new mini console. There was speculation that that mini console was going to be a Dreamcast mini, and we were wrong. It is actually another Genesis mini, this time with a couple of Sega CD games thrown in there, so a little bit more than just Genesis, but pretty cool either way. Not exactly what we were hoping for. It seems they're having issues porting Dreamcast games into that format, I guess. Something along those lines. Don't really know exactly, but we do know it is a hardware situation that they're having with the Dreamcast Mini. They have said in explicit detail that much at least. The next follow-up has to do with Xbox Bethesda Showcase that is going to be happening this weekend. We now know that this weekend is not going to be the entire story. We are going to get a second Xbox Bethesda Showcase that is going to be happening June 14th. So it's going to be split into 2 weekends. The second, though, presentation is going to be just a 90-minute presentation. It's going to be mostly trailers for new stuff and kind of expansions on things that we're going to be getting this weekend from them for the same purpose. So that is what we've got there. And then our biggest follow-up piece in this episode is the right to repair in gaming and tech. So New York just passed a new Right to Repair Act, Assembly Bill A7006B, making it, I believe this is the second U.S. city, that, or U.S. rather state, that has passed similar legislature. And it's kind of awesome because they're now mandating that people who make products, specifically tech-oriented products, and the other one was coming from Massachusetts, I apologize. Massachusetts, who passed a similar bill not that long ago, back in November, I believe. Theirs extends into vehicles as well, but effectively what the New York bill outlines, and to a different degree the Massachusetts bill, is that the people who make the thing now must have available to the people who buy the thing schematics and parts so that they can replace and repair on their own, which is the way it used to be for a very, very long time, up until actually rather recently, which is awesome. So this is a big win. It is expected that California is going to be following suit. Legislature in California that I actually agree with, go figure. Very, very soon they have something on the books right now that they're actively debating, and so on and so forth. So we will be keeping tabs on this because this is huge for techie types. That is really what we've got for the follow-ups though, so let's get into trailers. We got an actual gameplay trailer for the Callisto Protocol. Callisto Protocol is, again, for the those of you that don't remember, that sounds familiar, it's because it comes from the same studio that brought us Dead Space. So this is the spiritual successor to the Dead Space games. Because they are no longer associated with it, they had to, change certain things, and this looks amazing. This is so crazy looking. It just takes everything that we know and love about Dead Space and ramps it up to about 13 because, yeah, go check out the trailer, link in the description. Next, we're talking about Instagram, because this is tech and we're into news. So Instagram is rolling out a couple of new things, not the least of which being grid pinning. So very similar to Twitter, where in your feed you can pin a tweet to the top of your feed. Well, now you'll be able to pin 3 Instagram posts to the top of your grid. This is rolling out simultaneously with new tools that are going to help with the posting and editing and development of shorts and desktop publishing and all that stuff. Last I checked, which was this morning, the desktop stuff had not fully rolled out yet, so you still can't publish reels and things from your desktop, which is so weird to me that they don't have that functionality, but it is what it is. But there is a lot of new things coming our way in the Instagram side of things, which might be missing the point because people go to Instagram for images more than anything, and they're not really focusing on that anymore, but that's a whole other video. All right, so that's what we got there. Let's move right along to unions. Another thing that I didn't think I would really be agreeing with necessarily, at least not on the surface until you get into it a little bit. But gaming unions are becoming a thing. So we have in Canada, BioWare, their quality assurance testers who are working on the new Dragon Age Dreadwolf game have voted to unionize. They're going to be union under the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 401. So this is the first time this has happened in a Canadian company, but the first time that a union was formed in a gaming company just in general, as far as I understand it, was a US company. They unionized under Activision Blizzard. It was Raven Software voted to unionize just last month. So unions are happening. I think this is actually a great thing. I think it needs to go just a little bit further and also include developers because, I mean, I don't know exactly the legality there, but just in order to have a little bit more transparency when it comes to the crush, I can't think of the term right now, but when you get to the end of the development cycle and you have to rush to make it, so everybody's working long hours and extra days and all that stuff, and everybody gets really grumpy about the fact that they get overworked. This will force transparency when it comes to that. Not necessarily saying it's going to end the phenomenon, but I'm saying that it is going to make us understand, or make other people, because I feel like I have a fair grip and a fair amount of other people have a fair grasp on what that actually is. But it's going to make everyone have a better grasp on what's going on there. So I think that's a good thing. I think in this case, it is a net positive. It is very easy for unions to get a little out of hand, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But we will be keeping tabs on this as it moves forward. That is our gaming and tech section proper. So gaming and tech suggestions. We are going super retro with this one. Super Mario World. I do believe it is available on the Switch, so if you are a Switch player, then go for it. Or you can emulate it to questionable legality and, you know, all of the other things, but find a way to play some Super Mario World. The gaming historian episode on this game also is worth the hour-and-a-half plus runtime because it's fascinating, so go check out that as well as play the game this week because it's so much fun. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.